All right, pigeons. This is something I've wanted to do for a really long time because you make your sci-fi world or whatever, and then you just cover it in pigeons and poop, and that's just been a personal dream. So yeah, I've got the birds. They're really easy to work with. They're just using shape keys. So there's no rig or anything there. It starts to slow down the frame rate slightly once I add like a few hundred pigeons, so maybe keep them in their own collection. But yeah, let me show you some stuff. Okay, so it comes with 20 pigeons, and each one has an offset animation on it. I wanted it to just be one pigeon that you could just copy and paste, and every time you did, it created a whole new offset animation thing, so you didn't have to worry about it. But Blender is not particularly good at offsetting the animation of instances. That said, I was able to do a little bit of node stuff so that each pigeon is a slightly different color to hopefully keep some of that copy and paste feeling reduced. But let's get into some of the ways you can use these guys. First, I've been using the snap tool, I think, far too infrequently in my life because it's fantastic. So, turn that on, set it to face, and I'm just gonna just drag the pigeons onto it, and since the origin's on their feet, it'll snap just their feet right on there. One thing each pigeon has is an option under the shape keys here, perch or ground, and you can just toggle whether they're sitting on a wire or on the ground. And honestly, pigeons are liquid. You can use them kind of interchangeably. If you use the wrong one, it doesn't matter particularly much. So this is nice, but also because I have project individual elements on, I can just let's see, grab them and drag them on. Oh, that one went on that other pigeon. Kind of a fun, very lazy way to be able to arrange a bunch of pigeons. Cool. Let me rotate some of them. I did that a little bit too sloppily, perhaps. What else do we got? Oh. Okay, let's see. You've got a bunch of them sitting on a wire, and they all just look a little bit too uniform. We can add some variety really quick. First, I'm gonna make the wires on a separate collection. With a restriction of selectability enabled, so now we won't accidentally be grabbing the wire all the time. And you can just start dragging them around and boop, 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 making clumps, but I like to turn on the transform so it affects only locations, and that way you can just grab a bunch and scale them, and it'll scale the location that they're at, of the origin, but not actually be scaling the geometry, and that makes it just a lot easier to kind of make them huddle together for warmth or separate out because they're floofy and aloofy. Yeah. And then obviously we gotta, let's see, we gotta randomize where some of them are perched. So I'm just gonna use a circle, and I'm gonna move so fast I'm only grabbing random ones. This is that's probably a fair way to do this. Okay, and let's see. Turn off locations. Turn on individual origins. Turn off snap. And let's just rotate all of them 180 degrees. Now they're facing the other way. Then I'm going to use the proportional editing tool. Set it to random, and now I can just select one of these. And if I rotate, I can change the scroll wheel to change the area of influence, and it'll just anything within that circle will rotate a random amount. So let's see. I might just pull all of them randomly this way, all of them randomly this way, and the randomness will kind of build up. And I can do the same thing for the top view too here. Kind of just rotate kind of that way, rotate back. And now hopefully, and it can do the same with scaling. There we go. Now they're all slightly different orientations and scales and all of that, and it just makes them feel a little bit more random. Cool. Okay, now poop. The file comes with a node group, so in the node editor you can have any material and then just hit Shift A, and under group you can add your poop and just drop it in here at the end, and it'll automatically add poop to stuff. So it was hard to come up with a one-size-fits-all option. One thing, you want to make sure that the scale is applied to your object, just so the poo is the right scale too. And I've got a few options here. There's small poop, and then on the top, since all the birds usually just sit on the top of the head, I added a tippy top poop, and it's all just Musgrave textures, all interplaying here. Let's go to Eevee. Yeah, I can change how many of the little poops there are and how how intense they are, which is just changing the brightness. A lot of times with stuff like this, it looks really dumb when you're animating it, but once you just let it sit for a second, and well, that still is very intense poop. The trick is to kind of keep it not so frequent that you can see that it's a repeating pattern. Tippy top poop, woo! No, there's none, and it just makes it, gives it a little bit more directionality. That said, it becomes really obvious. The pattern of the poop texture becomes obvious when there's a big flat surface. So I added this ground filter, which is just basically a gradient that goes up and down and creates a cutoff, so that the base, or the ground bits don't. There we go. Or you could filter everything except for the very top of the head or something like that. And so yeah, that's basically the poop. I don't think there's anything else to. Oh, it's so poopy to say about that. So yeah, I think that's it. It's just birds and poop.